won't shut. Let's get on.
No, leave it like that. It'll be way easier to put on if it's stuck like that.
So it was up like this. And then action.
We're back for part 2. We got Trans Am Tube Front part 2 coming up, and the release for the accent color for the wheels and rear end being released right now. First, we're going to put the hood on so we can align the fenders and mock the bumper up a little bit to see where we're going to need to add these new headlight brackets that are laying down there.
Not putting any support brackets here.
I probably won't.
We probably don't need one for at least the front.
Because, well, think about it. When the
so
when
there's
this,
3 here.
Right.
1, 2, 3 that are still there.
and
But
then
it's still gonna.
And then you
no,
this
pause.
does the bumper.
You think that's going to move around, but all that bolts to the bumper. It bolts on the corners of the bumper.
Okay.
And then we're going to do
Your
lower
headlight-
tabs
Your
to the
headlight
bumper.
bracket will hold it.
Right.
Left and right. Like it'll be.
Do the instructions say to put tabs there?
No, they say you can. They're super loose with the instructions, as we found out last time.
I wouldn't even bother with it.
Just back that
Not
up.
that big of a deal.
We'll throw some small bolts in it real quick. Dwayne, all the bolts are somewhere in his cowling. Just find something that fits and kind
Good thing about F-body cowlings is they hold a lot of bolts.
Yeah.
of for many, many moons. All right, so we've got the hood and the fenders on the car, kind of lined up for mock-up. They're probably not perfect and square, but now we're deciding that we might not even run headlights. We'll just put a finish panel in here from the bumper down and just call it a grudge car. Why do we need lights?
No.
We're definitely gonna run headlights. So now we're gonna have to get the bumper up and we'll bolt it onto this stuff and we'll try to figure out exactly where the headlight's gonna lay and where this up bracket's gonna go, which is one of these. So somewhere in here, we're gonna have to cut this down to mount all of our stuff back to with this rock solid kit. So now we're attaching the headlight brackets with the factory hardware here. And this loop is going to line up on the driver and passenger side with our bars here and there. And then we're going to be looking for this to come out, and where that loop drops down, this is going to weld onto the back of our headlight bracket right there.
This is the driver's side headlight.
Yep. So it'll be like this coming off of that.
So we're putting these adjustment bolts in the center. That way, once we get them installed, we have adjustment both ways.
All right, now where the bracket loops up and comes around, we're gonna remove all this because it's gonna be in our way when that tube comes down. It comes through this area. So now that our hole's cut, we can put our tube right in that hole. Look at that. That's gonna be nice. It's gonna go way over here like this. We'll close the headlight to get a good lineup on it, but that's gonna be good, huh?
All right, so we got the front bumper installed with zip ties right here, just to hold it in place for right now, so we can get fitment on the headlights.
So now we're trying to make the headlight line up, and we're going to use some tape to get everything squared away with how it's going to look in the car, and it's much fun.
Wait, here, you let me angle it, you let go. Okay. You just hold the weight.
Get this guy. That's all we're worried about right now. Where you want it?
How's that?
Where, that's fine. Keep it up.
I'm not really sure what that was about.
Just tape it off, we can cut it with a knife, it's fine. Alright, so now that we've mocked everything up and got stuff kind of laying where we want, we got some marks on here. We've cut this bar at an angle to lay up on our tube here so that our headlight can correspond with that to get everything welded in place. Hood, headlight. You go ahead.
Can't do anything for it.
And you got
I'm feeling happy with it.
Let me get in a better position.
Yeah, leave the hood down.
Oh, sorry. Okay, there, now I got a good hold on it.
Good happy hold?
Yep.
Okay, that's fairly fine. I can rock that. We'll make adjustments. We'll make adjustments when we get tack.
Pull the hood.
Tack it, hurry up. Ow.
Okay.
It went through my glove.
Did it?
Yeah. Ah, fuck. These are not welding gloves, bro.
More welding. Well, if I could see it, it'd be nicer. That already stood in the front. Alright, so back to talking about the inside here. We have the bracket we bolted to the back of the headlight, and then they gave us this bar to cut down to size after you get it right. And then we welded it on here, but it looks like we've still got a lot of play. I think this thing's gonna bounce around and really not like itself. So we'll make a bracket to come from the bottom of here and just drop straight down to this to hold everything kind of tight into place, because this isn't gonna work for us. Okay, so this bar comes in the kit. We're gonna use it for reference on what we're talking about doing here on the side. I wanna lay it flat against the back of this headlight bracket that comes with it and stick it right down to that, weld it here and weld it all up the back of this in a couple spots to keep it tight, and I think that'll hold this headlight from moving on both sides. But this is for our front bumper support that they include with the kit. After the nightmare of getting the headlight lined up and getting everything kind of where we think it's gonna be right, there's a couple of tabs back here in the back that we can remove to let the hood come forward, because it looks like we're a little off in the back and a little off on the corners. So it's not gonna be bad, but the car is not for show. It's not gonna be sitting anywhere trying to get prettiest, whatever. If it's sitting still, it's broken. All right, so we got the bumper bracket fabbed up now. Couple little tabs with the rod they send you. I went off here to the main hoop, here to the main hoop, and over here to the main hoop to make this what I think is fairly sturdy. However, none of this clears any of this in your factory hood. I'm not sure if they want us to run an aftermarket or if they design it a different way, because I think if this were horseshoed and it drooped in a little bit as you were, if it drooped in and all this was pushed forward, it would clear this no problem. But we could do a little cut and just go from here up and cut a small box out, and then all that'll lay right in the center of this and we'll be fine. So we're not super concerned about this yet, but we did notice it's gonna be a problem.
Are you ready to do this?
We got the Harbor Freight grinder here with the Harbor Freight disc. We're gonna close our eyes as we really get down to business here, and we should be fine. A little fiberglass dust, but I think we'll be okay. Now, should we just go up or should we go in first?
I think you should just cut here and here like this.
Some straights? Okay, cool. roll out there? Nope, we're good. There, look, every ounce counts, boys.
That's a good pen.
Race weight. A pound is 16 ounces, Nick.
It's true. It's a few ounces.
Hey, way less than you. That was really dumb that you had to cut that.
100%. That hood's now worthless.
I mean, it was worthless before.
With a little bit of auto guys working the back, I think it would have been like new.
He's got extra air.
And look, here's the thing. I don't think we lost anything structural in that hood.
No, I think you're fine.
Yep.
Your hood pins are going to be like what, right here? You're probably going to put your hood pin right here.
Do they go where your bumpers go? The bumper, so it'd come down and be like right in here somewhere? Yeah, we can put it wherever. But yeah, take it down. Alright, so with everything tying up and things going well, we're going to do the passenger headlight next like we said, but we're noticing a lot of play and stuff. So I think if we come off of here, we can come over and make a bolted tab for this. Same for the driver's side. And then somewhere here in the center, we're going to have to figure out if we want to save this stuff and make drop back tabs, but we're going to have to figure that out when the intercooler goes in, because that's going to be the main issue for this area. We may have to kill this off anyways. Okay, so our headlight bracket arms here are cut to fit. They don't send them with any kind of notching or markings. So what we're doing is we're making our own where we think it's going to be, if you can see that. And that's going to come over here and get welded on. And then we'll kind of make it line up with the back as best we can, like we did the driver's side. And it may not be perfect, but we're happy with it for the most part. It's been a solid year since we've seen the car with this kind of progress and the front end finally back together. It makes the guy real happy to see his project start to take that big turn. There's a lot of money to be spent still, but this is not a fun task. I probably wouldn't do two tube fronts, but we'll cross that bridge if we buy another project. So the passenger side's now done. We still need to go back through and take all these parts back off, leave the headlights floating, measure our bars up and down, and finish weld the rest of this stuff, clean these back up and finish weld them, and do the rest of our stuff to clean everything back up. But as far as the install goes, this is the completed product. These rock solid motorsports tube front ends The kit as a whole, I think, could still use a little love on the R&D side and what they're doing on their end, but they're sending everything that you need. I'd like a little more explaining and a little more small stuff, but they've got a really solid kit. It seems to go on really well. I think if I did a little more homework and had watched a few more videos, or if I had this video that we just are gonna put out here, it would help me a bunch. And hopefully it can help all of you if you're gonna do this next. A very great mod and a very nice set of things. You're gonna lose a good amount of weight over the nose here, which if it comes to it, there's a lot of spaces we can put ballast back on the car to keep the nose down if it needs it, but we'll kind of see what happens as we go. Thanks for watching. I'm Waylon. This is the finishing of the part 2 for the tubular front end from Rock Solid Motorsports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.